Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Hani Ramadhani. Here I will explain about the International Strategy Alliance of International Business course.
Okay folks, gather round. Let's talk about something you might think is boring, but is actually the engine of the global economy, international trade and investment. Don't worry, we'll keep it simple. International trade is basically countries buying and selling stuff to each other. Think French wine in America or Japanese cars in Brazil. It's like a giant swap meet, but with more paperwork and fewer questionable souvenirs. Investment is a bit different. It's about putting money into another country, hoping to make more money. Building a factory overseas, that's investment. Buying stock in a foreign company, investment again. These things might seem far removed from your daily life, but they aren't. They have a huge impact on what you buy, how much things cost, and even what jobs are available. First, let's talk about the good stuff. International trade means more choices for you. Remember when you could only get those weird pale tomatoes? Now you have options from all over the world. Thanks, trade. It also often means lower prices. Companies compete globally, which keeps prices down. So that new phone in your pocket? Probably cheaper because of international trade. For countries, trade can be a huge economic boost. It creates jobs, brings in money, and helps countries grow. Think of a country like South Korea, which went from poverty to a global powerhouse, partly through trade. Investment has similar benefits. It can bring new technology, create jobs, and boost economies. Ever seen a foreign company set up shop in your town and create a bunch of jobs? That's investment in action. Now, before you think international trade is all sunshine and rainbows, let's talk about the downsides. One big issue is something called a trade deficit. That's when a country buys more stuff from other countries than it sells to them. It's like spending more money than you make, not sustainable in the long run. Another issue is that countries can become too reliant on each other. Imagine if your country only made one thing and suddenly nobody wanted it anymore. That's a recipe for economic disaster. And then there's the issue of jobs. Sometimes companies move factories to countries with lower wages, which can lead to job losses at home. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. Section 4. Real-world rumble trade in action. Let's bring this down to earth with some real-world examples. Remember those tariffs on washing machines a few years back? That's a trade barrier designed to protect domestic companies. Did it work? Well, the price of washing machines went up, so probably not as intended. Or think about all the clothes you own. Chances are, many were made in countries like Bangladesh or Vietnam. That's international trade in action, for better or worse. It provides jobs in those countries, but raises concerns about working conditions. And let's not forget about the global supply chain disruptions during the pandemic. Remember the great toilet paper shortage of 2020? That was partly due to disruptions in international trade. It showed just how interconnected our world is. Section 5, the bottom line trade-offs and tough calls. So what have we learned? International trade and investment are complex. They have the potential to make us all richer and give us access to amazing things. But they also come with risks. It's all about finding the right balance. Countries need to trade with each other, but they also need to protect their own interests. It's a delicate dance, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The key takeaway? We should all pay attention to these issues because they affect our lives in countless ways, from the price of our coffee to the availability of jobs in our communities. Section 6. So what's next? The future of buying and selling. As technology advances and the world becomes even more interconnected, the future of international trade and investment is full of both opportunities and challenges. Will we see more free trade agreements or a rise in protectionism? Will automation and artificial intelligence revolutionize global supply chains? One thing is for sure, the decisions we make today will shape the global economy for years to come. So, the next time you see "Made in" on a product label, take a moment to think about the complex web of international trade that brought it to your hands. Because understanding these issues is the first step towards creating a more prosperous and equitable global economy for everyone.